Evening and welcome to the Planning Board meeting of Tuesday, May 7th. Before we do the reorganization, let me take this quick opportunity to recognize our outgoing town engineer of 28 years, Mike Santora. Mike? Certainly I can go on and on, but I won't. I'll keep it very short and to the point. You've been a instrumental part of this board with your guidance and professionalism over the last 28 years. I, for one, am certainly going to miss not being able to rely on you. But before I pass it on to the board, we have a little something we want to give to you, and this is from the Planning Board, Larry, the engineering, well, actually the planning department, the selectmen, and the conservation. Yeah, I know, I said them last.
Open it up. Open it up.
Oh, slide it out.
Listen, it's his, let him open it.
Congratulations, Michael. I thought you were going to take it out.
Congratulations, Mike.
Listen, half the fun of it is letting him
Open
open
it up, show everybody.
Since he couldn't manage to do it for you.
You know, Larry gave me strict instructions, you know how I don't follow them well.
You want to open it?
No, I was going to say, you should have.
Didn't I forget my camera? Who's got the iPhone? Who's got the camera?
A little something to remember us by, Mike.
Read
it. Read it.
I'll let the chairman read it. You spell your name right, Mike?
Yes.
Good job.
Spell check.
It ends in O, right?
Presented this 7th day of May 2013 to Mike Santora, P.E., in recognition of your 28 years of distinguished service as Milford Town Engineer, for your commitment to the citizens of Milford, and your expert advice, guidance, and support to the Planning Board, Board of Selectmen, and Conservation Committee, Milford Planning Board.
That's very nice. Turn it around. That's right. Upside down.
Do you have it right side up? North is
That's
up,
very
right?
nice.
Thank you very much. I was hoping to avoid this.
We know.
You guys got me. And I just have to say that when I came here, I was warned that this was a political town, and I found there was nothing to be the case. The selectmen and the planning board, conservation commission, have all let me do my job, and that's all anyone can ask. So, thank you all very much.
Thank you.
You may want to put it back in there.
With that, I will take oh, I'm sorry, Frank, go ahead, I'm
Can I give
sorry.
Mike a little
Absolutely.
present? I want to thank Mike for all the help he gave me, and this was the best town, even though, I live in this town, but we've worked on a lot of towns, and, it was the best town to work in. You got the most cooperation, the most help, the most guidance than any town. And I can just tell a little story now, Mike.
Good, I love this.
I think we can tell now when Howie Pfeff had loaned us his boat. We weren't supposed to tell anybody. And Mike and I and Ronnie Speroni went to Gloucester in it, and none of us knew each other. The wives all went, and we had the best weekend ever. And my wife still remembers it, and I'm sure Mike's does. And of course, Ronnie's passed away, but I'm sure his wife remembered it too. But
That's
we
a
had
nice
a great
memory.
time. But Mike said, "Don't tell anybody."
I think it was over 50.
Oh, you're not quite done. Lou has something to say.
I got to say something. On behalf of our company, Mike, I'd like to present you with a little something, and appreciate working with you for all the 28 years, and let me say something. You were a pleasure to work with. You were fair, you were tough, but we got the job done. Town is the best shape it's ever been in, and thanks to you.
It's great working with you guys, too.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
That's the first time I ever upstaged you.
28 years, you still haven't learned Title V, but that's all right.
That's right, you're not.
Actually, before, I might as well take this opportunity as well to introduce the incoming new town engineer, not to certainly take anything away from Mike. However, Mike has been gracious enough to pass on his seat to her as of tonight. I know your first name is Vonnie, and I apologize.
It's Bonnie.
My name is Vonnie Reese.
Reese, thank you. Larry didn't give me the last name, my
And,
apologies.
Now I'm really scared about what I have to live up to.
Notice how Lou didn't give you a card yet.
I'll give her.
We'll get one at Christmas.
If you could just give us a little background on yourself, just while we'll...
Sure. I'm a civil/environmental engineer. I have 25 years of experience. I did my undergraduate degree at WPI and my graduate degree at Northeastern. And as I said, I've been working in this field for 25 years, doing construction, drainage, all the kind of fun stuff that I expect to see here. So I'm looking forward to it.
Perfect, and welcome.
Excellent.
With that, I will take a motion for a new chair.
How about vote Joe Calgione as the new chair?
Motion,
Second.
motion for Joe by Lena, seconded by Babe. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed? Unanimous? Joe, it's all yours.
Thank you. With that, we will go through the rest of the organization. Take motion for vice chair.
Motion for Babe.
Motion made for Babe Mainini.
Second.
Seconded by Pat. Motion was by John. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. I will take a motion for the clerk.
Motion for Karen?
Motion for Karen by Pat. Second?
Second.
Seconded by Babe. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. The MAPC swap representative. Take a motion for that. John, has that been you?
Yeah, if somebody else.
I'll make a
wants
motion
it,
for John.
I'll second that.
Motion for, I'm not sure that's that's something John was really psyched to do, but we have a motion for John for the MAPC swap representative, seconded by Lena. Any discussion? John, any discussion? No?
Too late.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. The Fair Housing Committee representative? Is that you, Lena?
No, I think it was Pat.
Is it Pat?
I haven't done it in the last couple of years. I thought it was Babe the last couple of years. I'll make a motion for Babe.
I'll second that.
Motion by Pat for Babe to be the Fair Housing Committee representative, seconded by Lena. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? It's unanimous. Open Space Advisory Committee liaison?
I think that was Lena.
No, that was actually been me.
Oh, that was you,
That-
Joe?
that's-
You want to stay?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, make a motion for Joe.
I'll second.
Motion by Pat for Joe Calagione, seconded by John. Any discussion? All those in favor? It's unanimous at 5. I'll entertain a motion to have the clerk and town planner sign correspondence for the chairman.
I make that motion.
Motion by Babe. Here, a second.
I'll second that.
Seconded by Lena. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Unanimous at 5. Authorization for the clerk and the town planner. I'll entertain a motion for authorization for the clerk and town planner to sign the planning board meetings posted with the town clerk.
Motion.
Motion by Pat. Seconded by John. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Unanimous. I'll entertain a motion for the town planner to sign any 81Ps after the board approval.
So moved.
Motion by John.
Second.
Seconded by Babe. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Unanimous. Entertain a motion to authorize the town planner to sign the planning board payroll.
I'll move.
Motion by Lena. Second.
Second.
Seconded by Pat. All those, any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Unanimous. Entertain a motion to authorize town planner to call planning board meetings and to set public hearings.
So moved.
Motion by John.
Second.
Seconded by Babe. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous at 5. And I'll make looking for an authorization for the town planner to set the planning board agenda.
So moved.
Motion by Lena. Seconded by Pat. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Unanimous at 5.
All right.
With that, I'll take a motion to accept the minutes of the previous meeting.
So motion.
Motion by Pat, seconded by John. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Unanimous at 5.
No,
No, we want, oh, one abstention, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Want to do the 705?
Yes.
The Irishman.
At 7:05, we don't have to read it because it's a continuation. 7:05, we have the continuation of a public hearing, which is the application of the Gutierrez Company to amend the zoning bylaw by adding in section 2.3 use regulation schedule references to life sciences research and development, science research and development, and wholesale usage.
That's the one they want to withdraw.
Yes, I have a letter in front of me. It doesn't look like anyone is here. I have a letter in front of me from the Gutierrez Company. It's written to the board that says, please accept this letter as a request to withdraw the zoning amendment that we'd asked to be included in the May 20th, 2013 annual town meeting warrant. The proposed zoning amendment would have expanded on the existing allowed uses within the BP Business Park zoning district. We will be notifying town council with withdrawal and ask that the article be passed over and not taken up at the vote at town meeting. After considerable deliberation on the language, we want to make sure that if the zoning amendment request is acted upon, that is in the most accurate and valid request we can put forward. At this time, we do not feel this is the case. Feel free to contact me with any questions. Signed, William Calder, Managing Director of the Gutierrez Company.
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing and accept the letter of withdrawal.
Motion by Pat to close the public hearing and accept the letter of withdrawal. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Seconded by John. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll take a vote to close the public hearing and accept the withdrawal. All those in favor?
aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous at 5.
Yeah, Bill had other meetings, so he wasn't sure if he was going to get here in time, so.
That's fine.
Yeah, it'll be interesting if they do come forward, actually, come back again. There was, I discussed this with Larry afterwards to a certain extent, and I think Larry knew I wasn't comfortable with the use of the wholesaling in their usage or not, because I think that falls under retail in our zoning bylaw. There really is no use for wholesale, and I think that would have opened it up to something we didn't really want to do. But that being the case, it's been withdrawn, so we'll see if it comes back forward, or if we want to look at it. 81P plans, Michael Spence, 147 Congress Street.
We don't have that one.
That's not 81P, is it?
That's what it says.
Yeah, but we don't
Oh, here
have
it
any.
is.
Oh, we don't have any,
Don't
well,
have anything, but yeah.
Mike set the plans.
Others too.
Thank you.
Oh, part of this is land court, so I'll hold the Mylar, and you can sign it with the rest of the stuff later.
Okay,
Go ahead,
for the
Mike.
record,
Yep.
Mike Dean with Gary Evan Halman Engineering, here for an 81P plan or an A&R lot, approval not required on the subdivision control law. What it is, what you'll see here is just under a 2.5 acre parcel of land shown in the orange, okay, up off of Congress Street running along there, Eames Street and Bethel Road right across. Okay, so just under 2.5 acre parcel of land.
Okay.
Congress Street, Eames, Bethel
Oh,
Road.
I know that.
And they're subdividing that front lot to just be over 15,000 square feet, conforming to the current zone in residential RB. And then the remaining land not to be considered a separate building parcel. And that's it.
So what you're doing is cutting that out.
You gotta give Joe the paperwork so we can,
Yeah.
I just need to check.
You got an initial.
It's in
Did you say he's
endorsable
getting rid
as
of this
submitted.
building?
No, they're
No.
putting it in.
No,
They're not getting rid of the building, right?
Nope.
No, okay. Just going to include it?
They're cutting that out from
They're
the
cutting it
overall
out from
parcel.
everything else.
Okay. Oh, okay, I got it.
I'll entertain any questions from the board?
Nope, seems to be
Entertain a
okay.
motion?
I'll
Make the
move we,
Oh, sorry.
I move we grant the 81P.
Motion by John to sign the 81P, seconded by Pat. Any other discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor? We have to sign this, what this is, land court?
Land court, yeah.
Abstention? Have 4 in favor and 1 abstain. Is there anything that you wanted to? Oh, okay.
Do you have anything more to do tonight?
Not me personally.
Is that leaving access to get
Why,
into
if
the
you'd
rest
like to
of
sign
it?
it later, that's fine.
I was just gonna, just so we can continue on.
Yeah, is that what you want to do, Larry?
I don't believe so.
Yeah, if you don't mind.
It's not, well, we're just gonna come
If you
back
don't mind.
That's fine.
for zoning.
Well, if you want to grab these, they're done, if not.
Yeah, I gotta have, they
Sooner or
gotta
later.
sign
Oh,
the
I
end.
think so.
Yeah.
If you don't separate, you don't pay that much.
I get one of those, oh, there we go.
Karen, do you need all 3?
I think
No,
it's two
they-
now.
they need one.
Top two?
Are you giving them to,
Yes. Let's stamp them in tomorrow.
Yep.
Moving right along.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. The next item on the agenda is amended site plan for 1 Countryside Drive, the Geriatric Authority of Milford.
Hey, Mike.
Yes. What's that?
how are the twins? How are the twins?
I don't, yeah.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. This is the addition.
Thank you.
Geez, you guys switched to your summer colors, huh? Your summer fluorescents? These came in late, if you want to hand them to Joe, in addition to what's in the packet.
Okay. Go ahead, Bob. Yep.
Right, this is Robert Foxton with Gary and Allen Engineering, representing the Countryside Healthcare, which is commonly known as Milford Geriatric Authority. Also with me tonight are Barry Chyler, who is the administrator of the Countryside Healthcare, and also Brian Kelleher, who is the project manager for the project. This is the existing site location. You can see there's we were here a few years back for these 2 wing additions, this one and this one. So the existing building is what you see here. There's an existing 2-story house that was used for administration in the past, and there's an existing structure here which has been used in the past for a daycare center. There's a shed here. And the proposal is to construct an addition on the existing building to be used for a memory care unit, an Alzheimer's unit. In doing so, we will be reducing a lot of the impervious area that you see that's existing now with the parking and the pavement. This building will be raised, and we'll be creating a lot more green space. There'll be a courtyard in between that will be there'll be detailed architecturals of those once they submit all the architecturals for the building itself. But the site is currently serviced by municipal water and sewer. We will continue to keep there's a service somewhere in this location here. We're proposing a new service from this existing manhole to a mechanical room in this location here. There's existing gas that will be stubbed off and brought into the same location. There's existing water which sloops around the entire site, and we will bring in the fire protection into the building from that water line. The domestic water, as well as any of the communication utilities, electrical, will be extended from the existing building. When this building was constructed, it was left such that they would be able to extend those domestic and, in the cable, electric, telephone utilities within. Fire protection will still be brought in with a 6-inch line directly from the main that loops around. I don't know if you want to go through the letters.
I'll go through them after.
Okay. One of the things you'll see on the letters is the fire chief asked for a fire lane. As you can see here, under the previous site plan, the roadway was allowed to end here because there was a little bit of a stub road here, and then this roadway came around in the back. So they felt that there was sufficient access for firefighting if they ever needed to without having to go all the way through. With this being removed, the building being brought in here, he has asked us to create a fire lane along the back here, and in doing so, we've expanded upon that and minimized the amount of pavement in the back, eliminated some parking spaces that we don't need because we comply well above what we need for parking. That's pretty much it. We're just really proposing, the net result of impervious area is actually a decrease of 3,000 square feet. So we're not proposing any stormwater. There is an existing catch basin right here which will remain and be burned up around so that it will collect this water. And then it discharges in this location here. There'll be one additional, some sort of drainage structure within the courtyard that will just tie into that so that the water won't be able to impound in the building. Similar to what we did in this area here, we put in a structure and came on tied with the existing drainage system. That's pretty much it.
Thank you. I'll go through the letters, and then I'll open it up to the board and any other comments. Letter from the town planner. Applicant requests site plan amendment to allow for 11,650 square foot, 24-bed, single-story addition to the existing nursing home facility. The existing two-story wood frame building is to be raised. There are 93 parking spaces being proposed. 51 are required. The amount of impervious surface is actually being slightly reduced, as Bob indicated. All other zoning requirements appear to be met. Therefore, town planner recommends site plan be approved, subject to relevant department comments. A letter from the town engineers. We've reviewed the site plan for the proposed addition. The project results in a net loss of impervious surface, no drainage issues. There is also adequate off-street parking. Therefore, I recommend approval of the site plan. This is from Mike. A filing with the Conservation Commission is not required for this project. A letter from the Conservation Commission. The Fire Department letter. The existing hydrant on Countryside Drive, northwest side of the existing building, shall be relocated closer to Countryside Drive and closer to the existing main entrance loop. Fire lane shall be extended around, as Bob indicated, the addition connected to the existing fire lane to create a loop around the entire building. One hydrant shall be added in the northeast corner of the proposed addition along the extended fire lane. All driveways around the facility shall be posted no parking fire lane tow zone. All fire hydrants should be equipped with metal metal flags. John Toohey. Bob, did you address the fire hydrant, moving of the fire hydrant?
Yes, and I believe he's got a supplemental, but the new hydrant location is here, the additional hydrant is here, and we placed notes on the plan talking about the hydrants being equipped with metal flags, the fire lane to be 18 feet wide and be able to support 20-ton fire apparatus, and all the driveways to be posted no parking fire lane.
Thank you.
I think you have a
I believe he has a supplemental letter.
Yeah, I have that. Actually, I'll go through those after I get through this one. Highway Department finds the plan to be satisfactory. Commission on Disability. They indicate that the site plan indicates 8.6% of the 93 parking spaces to be accessible, yet only 6 appear on the plan. If the facility provides outpatient medical care for persons with mobility impairments, I don't believe that this is an outpatient facility.
No, there is no outpatient.
So those don't matter. It is requested that detail be added showing the accessible parking spaces and accessible aisles conform to the regulations. Are they sized on the drawing, Bob?
Well, we're not proposing any new spaces, so everything that's there is existing. They're all the existing handicap spaces that were for the last site plan. So we're not proposing any new parking spaces. So we didn't really design anything new.
The next comment is a comment that has to go to the building official. It's a comment about accessibility into the courtyard. It doesn't deal with us. That's it for the letters there. We've got two additional letters. An additional letter from the fire department that says, the fire department has reviewed the site plan submitted for Countryside Drive that was revised and finds it acceptable. And a letter from the water company. The water main shall be a minimum of class 52 ductile iron pipe, only Milford Water Company approved materials, 2-inch domestic water. We'll have to work out the domestic water because that's coming from the existing building. You've already indicated 6-inch fire service. Milford Water Company would like the engineer to provide projected daily demand details for the facility. Water company inspector, pre-construction meeting, water, no irrigation system, which we haven't heard of any irrigation system.
I got the water readings for the last 27 months, today, from the water company. I did an analysis, and based on the existing use of 85 beds, they use around 6,080 gallons a day, which is 71.5 gallons per bed. So the projected 24 additional beds would have an increase of 1,716 gallons per day. I sent him that information in an email this afternoon, so I did provide that to him.
Okay. Thank you. Any questions from the board?
I don't really have anything.
The question I had was about education here again.
Yeah, there's no outpatient there.
No, I didn't think.
No. It's the same questions they asked for the assisted living for Blair House.
Yeah.
They did.
He just put the same
Sewer,
thing.
we have a letter from the sewer.
There's no letter from the sewer department.
Have you gone in?
They are not meeting again till the 28th of May. They met just before we submitted and not meeting until 28th of May. But we've had discussions with them in the past. I guess there's a certain amount of capacity they've allowed for this particular structure, and they haven't reached it yet. Because because it keeps coming up with people.
It all goes to Field Pond, so.
Yeah, well, like I say, there are people, it's come up all the time when people in the area want to tie into the Field Pond, and they keep saying, what about the, it's been brought up, but what about the addition that the geriatric college proposed, and it's been mentioned that they've already allotted for that in their, in their gallonage.
Maybe I can speak to that a little bit.
Yeah.
My name is Brian Kelleher, project manager. We actually met with the sewer commission last fall, I think, Barry, and part of the building that we're taking down had a capacity that went with that was approved, that had, I can't remember the number of beds, so that capacity we're actually using in our new addition here. So that was part of the reason for taking that building down. So we took some capacity off, and we're adding some capacity in.
That kind of solves the problem a little bit.
Any other questions?
I just have one quick one. Bob, I'm just confused on the Commission on Disability. Is it supposed to have 8 parking spots?
Well, no, it's only required to have 4.
Okay.
But we said we had.
He's saying you should have 9,
Well, no, he's saying we said we listed 8 because there were 2 back here that just didn't have the, it had the striping, but it didn't have the symbol in them, and we subsequently removed those, so we have 6.
Okay.
But we only required to have 4.
Required to have 4, okay.
Based on the number of spaces.
And I was just looking for clarity on that.
Any, I know you don't need additional.
6.
There's no additional impervious. Anything with water quality, though? Any storms?
We have not proposed anything at this time, no. No, basically, water quality is being improved by the amount of green space that we're adding in.
I'm just wondering if at time it's one of the areas that we can improve water quality in the area while we're doing work in there to put in at least a storm scepter type unit or something to to improve water quality going to the wetlands.
The majority of the runoff is flowing into Countryside Drive. There's a small amount that's going this way that goes there now, but as far as the developed areas, the majority of what's being developed would flow towards Countryside Drive and get into the existing drainage system within Countryside. We could, obviously this is all going to be, this area here is all going to be disturbed and dug up because we've got the building being removed, we've got the foundation. I mean, we could show something for roof drains, I suppose.
Any thought on that, Mike? Seeing how you had reviewed this one.
Well, my feeling was that since they reduced the impervious surface, it's such a small percentage of the total site, new stormwater regs coming down. They're probably going to have to do more than just a storm scepter, and it's being budgeted very tight. So I didn't ask for anything in that regard.
Yeah, I was just thinking with new regs and stuff in terms of what we're, any ability to remove.
New regs, they're not, storm scepters aren't even, they were the flavor of the day, 5 or 6 years ago, and now they don't even give you much credit for them anymore. So, a storm scepter might cost $75,000.
It's an ongoing maintenance issue too.
Well,
Well, it's supposed to be an ongoing maintenance issue. Yeah.
It's not that big of a maintenance issue, but, you get a big initial expense.
I want to see whether it's clean.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, one of the things that we've run across is the vortex units actually do have the capability for phosphorus removal as part of it, and I'm not sure what the regs are going to come down with totally, but part of, getting rid of the phosphorus is certainly a big thing, and as far as I know, there is some that will meet the EPA regulations that are coming out. That's why I was just asking. It's probably not a big thing on this one, but certainly going forward. That's my only comment. Anything else?
I'll make a motion to amend the site plan.
Provided we get a letter from the sewer department, or is it?
Precisely.
Yeah, exactly. I'll second.
Motion by Pat to approve the amended site plan, contingent on satisfactory letter from the sewer department, seconded by John. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous at 5.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Do you want this thing back? Instead of throwing them out.
We recycle, John.
There you go, Bob.
Throw out.
Joe,
Recycle.
are you going to sign the Mylar tonight and just hold on to it until we get to that?
Yeah, we can do that. I don't see why not. Yeah.
You got it, right?
Might as well just continue down though.
Yeah, we'll sign them after, because we have to sign the 81P anyways. Amended site plan, Dilla Street, Louisa Lake Recreation Area, Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Larry's going to do this one.
Larry's going to do this one?
This is the Boy Scout initiative?
Boy Scout.
Boy Scout initiative?
Confirmation tonight.
That's nice.
Well, no, he's upstairs,
That's
actually.
okay, Larry,
He's
let's
in the
go.
Oh, he's
orchestra.
got his confirmation the night he gets to
Concom, yeah.
Oh,
He's upstairs tonight.
He's singing for you, Mike. He's singing for you.
The applicant requests approval of an amended site plan to allow for the construction of a 12-foot octagonal gazebo at the Louisa Lake Recreation Area on Dilla Street. The proposed location is not within a required front yard and will not interfere with traffic or parking on the site. The applicant is proposing the gazebo as an Eagle Scout project. All applicable zoning requirements appear to be met, therefore I recommend the amended site plan review be approved, subject to the relevant departmental comments. The site plans are the last 2 pages in your packet. Shows the location just west of the Dilla Street parking lot for the complex.
Another big grass area.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's a wonderful idea.
It's a nice idea.
And there's a rock that's at Kiwanis Park.
Yes.
It's going to be right behind that rock.
Oh, that's good.
I think it's wonderful.
So are they going to have anything there, a little band, or?
I suppose once it's there, you build it, they'll come.
A noggin grinder and a monkey.
Or you could take
That'll
your
look really
ukulele
nice.
and...
A very attractive. Yeah.
I'll make a motion if you have-
So
I'll go through, I'll just go through the letters, so that way they're in the record. Town plan or all applicable zoning requirements appear to be met, therefore I recommend the amended site plan be approved, subject to relevant department comments. Town engineer, having been fully involved with the project, I recommend granting the waiver. It's from Mike. Conservation Commission, a request for determination of applicability has been filed with the Conservation Commission. Public hearing is May 16th. Fire Department has reviewed the plan submitted and finds that it's acceptable. Highway Department has no comments at this time. Conservation, our Commission on Disabilities has indicated they have no comments on the application.
Wow.
So with that,
I'll
Pat
move-
makes a motion to,
Let Lena, sorry.
I'll move
Lena
to,
makes a motion to approve the amended site plan, seconded by Pat. Any further comments? Hearing none, all those in favor? Opposed? Unanimous at 5.
this is a young kid. Good for him.
My favorite job.
That's great.
Site plan waiver for 47 Summer Street, Planet Aid.
He's not, he's not.
Just go through.
More storage
You'll need to-
containers.
Yep. The applicant requests waiver of site plan to allow for the placement of 4 4x4 portable storage containers at the above-listed site, which is 47 Sumner Street, Planet Aid headquarters, as located on the attached site plan for the purposes of the collection of used clothing. ZBL Section 3.2.5.1 specifically provides for portable storage containers in commercial and industrial districts by special permit from the ZBA. The ZBA granted a special permit for this use at their 4/11/13 meeting. See the attached decisions. Each of the storage containers collection boxes will display on all 4 sides the company logo, the words clothes and shoes, as well as various instructions and other pertinent information. The proposed location is within the existing parking lot and will not generate any new traffic on the site. The proposed location was developed after consultation with the Office of Planning and Engineering and is situated so as to prevent interference with both vehicular and pedestrian circulation within the site. The proposed location is not within the public way or required front yard, therefore I recommend the request for waiver of site plan be approved. That was from Larry. This is obviously one that we had looked at before and sent a recommendation on to the zoning board, by the way.
This is the only new one that the zoning board approved for Planet Aid at their own site, so.
Okay.
And this is in the same location that you'd recommended in the first place.
That's the only letters we have from the department. Okay.
It's
And
more of a
I'm not saying
formality
anything
now.
because you'll get mad at me.
do I,
Yeah, I just have a question. How many of these do we have, that we have now, Larry? Do you have any idea how many that are around the town now?
There's 4 here, there's how many up at Shaw's?
There's
2 or
2
4.
in
I
Shaw's?
think there are 4 or 5
think there's-
sites around town.
Yeah.
There are 4 or 5
They're-
sites around the town?
Yeah, but the ZBA is not approving them all as they come in. This is the-
Right.
As you recall, Planet Aid had 3 or 4
They had
more
3
sites this
sites,
last
yeah.
time. They only got this one approved because it was at their own headquarters. They already have 3 or 4 other sites in town, so.
Red Cross is coming too, aren't
Yeah, Red Cross
Yeah.
is going to have another one.
Wasn't, and St. Vincent's came in?
we had sent that out, yeah, I don't know what, I don't know what that one,
Okay.
Yeah, that's next.
yeah. I mean, this one's been granted the waiver by, you know,
I know-
we
I
sent
know
the,
that.
I'll make a
the recommendation
motion
and,
for the waiver of site plan.
motion by Pat to, grant the waiver of site plan. Do I hear a second?
Second.
they? Dave saying.
Seconded by Dave. Any discussion on the granting of the waiver of site plan?
Well, I just hope that they keep it clean around the area. That's,
They will, it's their own
you know,
building.
it's their own building. They should.
Well, again, these are, I believe, the ZBA are up, you know, yearly, so that if there's any issues, the ZBA has recourse to
Pull it off.
change, yeah, to
Okay.
not grant the waiver. All those in favor of granting the waiver of site plan? All those opposed? Unanimous at 5. Site plan waiver, 146 South Main Street, CMRK Inc.
Who is here tonight?
Sure.
Hi, my name is Ray Rutledge, Marketing Director for the company. We are just asking for the one site is what we've been approved for. If you have any questions for me, be be happy to answer anything you have.
Let me go through the letters then, and then if the board has any questions, I can ask you.
Okay.
The applicant requests waiver of site plan to allow for the placement of 2 5x5 portable storage containers at the above-listed site, 146 South Main Street, which is a gas station, for the purpose of the collection of used clothing. Again, ZBA Section 3.2.5.1 specifically provides for portable storage containers in commercial industrial districts by special permit from the ZBA. The ZBA granted the special permit for this use on 4/11/13 meeting. Each of the storage containers boxes will display on all 4 sides St. Vincent de Paul logo, the words clothing and shoes, and book recycling, as well as various instructions and other pertinent information. The proposed location is within the existing parking lot and will not generate any new traffic on the site. The proposed location was developed after consultation with the Office of Planning and Engineering and is situated as to prevent interference with both vehicular and pedestrian circulation within the site. Therefore, the town planner recommends approval of the waiver of site plan. After that, we have the decision that granted the ZBA requirement, and we also have a picture showing with the location of the site and a location of the boxes on the site as the last page. Is this the same one as that we had seen previously, Larry, or has this moved? So it's the same one as what we had seen when we sent the recommendation on to the ZBA?
Right.
Correct.
Again.
Any discussion from the board?
Yeah, how often do you clean them? Empty them?
Well, I mean, it's a minimum of twice a week, usually 3 times in the summertime when it's busier, spring and fall.
Yeah, but you
It's
do
busier.
check them frequently, that's...
Oh, yeah, because they're down in this area all the time.
So do you find people are just dropping off in the fall when they're changing their clothes over, and the spring, and
Spring and fall are busy seasons.
That's a busy time.
Winter is pretty much dead, and a lot of times, like July, August is pretty dead also. So it's usually in the spring and fall.
Do you run into a situation where people just leave things there? Fry pans, if you will, or something?
televisions?
TVs?
Every company that does this runs into that. It's just a matter of, how quickly we get down here to take care of it. And, we'll do it based on the site. If the site requires more times a week, we do it. I mean, we've had sites that we do 7 times a week with some of the bigger developers that we work with, and we have some that we only have to do once a week. I mean, it's all based on what we need to do.
Hear a motion?
Yeah, I'll move we waive, we grant the waiver.
John makes a motion to grant the waiver of site plan. Is there a second?
Yes.
Seconded by Babe. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor? Opposed? Unanimous at 5.
Thank you.
Next thing we have is conditional approval contract, South Central Estates 3 subdivision. What's this one, Larry?
It's only a couple weeks late. Here's
We
the
noticed
original.
that this slipped through the cracks, so we got a hold of Bob over at G&H, and he took a crack at it. We reviewed it, added all of the standard conditions that we usually put in, and got it back to him, and revised it, and it's now acceptable.
Does the board have any questions on?
No, I'll make a motion just for the chairman to sign the conditional approval contract.
Motion made to sign the conditional approval contract by
second that.
Pat, seconded by Lena. Any other discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor? Opposed? Unanimous at 5.
Do you usually notarize that?
I gotta get a blue pen. Someone's gonna shoot me. Said I gotta get a blue pen. Someone's gonna shoot me. Probably one of those lawyers.
Blue is what you should be signing.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said I gotta get a blue pen. I got a black pen.
Want to use this one?
Doesn't matter, color copies, heat them up now.
Yeah, I know it.
Do you want Karen to
Want this one?
notarize it later?
What?
The Army feels the
Well, they didn't
indentation.
put one on, but
That's what they,
For
that's
him,
the way they
yeah.
tell them. So you use it
You want me to sign?
to press hard.
You just signed.
You did sign.
No, do I need, okay, I don't need to sign the
gotta sign
book?
the book.
That's what I'm saying. Let me sign the book while Mr. Pettinari gets prepared.
Thank God Mr. Pettinari's billing by the fraction of the minute.
He's been prepared
You
since
know,
he
Oh,
walked in the
I
door.
always like to help
It's
Ernie.
become a business.
Anytime we can help him inflate his bill slightly.
It's a big business.
Billable hours.
client's in the room.
I can see him back there.
Billable hours.
He's no stranger to town hall.
You and Lori Ann.
That's right. Right.
You'll notice that the last agenda item is the updated
I'm
Mylars.
gonna know where to sign then.
You gotta print your name and then sign it.
You did bring the Mylars, right?
I started paying them out over there.
No,
Ran
I
out of
mean,
table.
yeah.
Oh, yeah?
So this is the original set with a new certificate of no change plotted on top? Cool.
Is that for the entire board or just the chair?
No,
I'll cut
entire
the
board.
wire.
God,
I know.
14 sheets.
how many?
14.
Running over schedule tonight.
Yeah,
This is
it's 7:45. We're
South
running
Central
behind.
States.
You all set, huh?
Oh, yeah, it is.
You all set there, kid?
Can't even read a calendar anymore.
Somebody put the ear.
You all set,
conditioner
Karen? The ZBA variance, 151 Cedar Street, North Pond LLP. Mr. Pettinari.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm Ernie Pettinari. I'm a lawyer here in Milford. My office is at 12 Main Street. And I'm here tonight on behalf of North Pond LLP, the principal of which is also with me tonight, and that's Mr. Tim Icardi, and he's at the back of the room. North Pond is the owner of 2 parcels of real estate that are situated on the easterly side of Cedar Street. Cedar Street's present zoning requirement is RD, 87,000 square feet minimum for construction of single-family residences. These lots in question are bisected by what is now the bike path. And so consequently, approximately 4 acres of land, which had heretofore been associated with each of these lots, has now been lost because it's on the other side of the bike path. Tim looked at the property. North Pond has purchased the property and seeks to develop 2 residential lots on the street frontage on Cedar Street, and if the town is interested, to convey the backland on the other side of the bike path, which butts up to the Charles River to the town of Milford, as open space conservation land. What would result in the event that the favorable action was happening at the zoning board tomorrow evening would be that we would end up with 2 lots, one of which was 69,200 and change, and the other would be 61,700 and change square feet. The dimensions would be far larger than most of the residences that are in that area, and the construction of single-family residences on these lots could be done in such a way as to conform to the zoning bylaw in all other material respects. Our position would be that this is a practically reasonable variance, that the literal enforcement of the bylaw with the bisection of these lots in this particular instance would affect a hardship on the owners, and frankly, that the construction of the 2 single-family residences or the construction of a new one and the rehabilitation of the old one would be a meaningful contribution to the well-being of the community and contribute overall to the area and the neighborhood, et cetera. That's basically the presentation. Tim is here with me tonight. We can answer any questions that you might have as we go forward.
Ernie, are these gonna be serviced by municipal sewer now?
Yeah, they are. Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
And water?
The low-pressure line.
The
across.
low-pressure line that was
Yeah.
put right in front of it,
Yeah,
okay.
they are both water and sewer.
I just wanted to make sure, other than that,
Yeah.
as long as it's
That's the biggest,
municipal-
that's the
as
biggest
long as
reason
it's
why that's
municipal-
RD up there.
Yep, nope, as long as it's municipal sewer, then I'll make a favorable to the ZBA.
Ted makes a recommendation for a favorable motion to the ZBA. Is that with the requirement that the back parcel be deeded over to the town as open space, or is that open? In terms of your recommendation?
Deeded over to the
I mean,
town.
look,
Conditions acceptable to us if the town will accept it.
I don't know, to that point, I mean,
I would think.
I would think
being
that the
next to
town
bike
should
path, they
accept
would-
it. Do
they
I
would-
want to make it a condition? I don't know
No,
if
no,
I,
no,
I don't know
it's
if
only
I
a
do.
recommendation to the
Yeah.
ZBA. If that's our recommendation, I just want to know because it would be my recommendation that way.
Then I will certainly, with the caveat that the applicant
That's our hope.
convey the back rear parcel to the town of Milford to be used for open space
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Seconded by John. Any further discussion?
or a gun range.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous at 5.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
Can I have your top letter, please? Thank you.
Pass that down to Mr. Mainini, please.
It's freezing
Can you do this one?
Butter.
No,
Okay, Mr. Manini,
we're in charge already.
you're in
I'm all
charge.
set.
Do you need a,
No,
Talk loudly, babe, I can't hear you.
that's too bad.
Probably get over there, but
yeah,
I'll
you
stay
want,
here.
You're on camera now, you probably should,
I
you
wanna
should
hear
probably
Nick on the
vacate.
camera.
Where is the breeze coming from?
Hold on one second.
shut it down.
Make it allow that you're recusing yourself. Be known by the public.
All set. The chairman needs to recuse himself from this, business, as I'm in a butter to the subject property. Abe, please.
Okay.
Go, baby.
Again, I'm Ernie Pettinari. My law office is at 12 Main Street, and I'm here tonight on behalf of the Consigli family. I know this house because I spent almost all of my teenage years in this house. This is the house that Lou and Helen Consigli own at the corner of Blanchard and Wilson Road. It's presently owned and occupied by their son, Tom. Tom has lived in that house since his marriage, having been the beneficiary of a conveyance from all of the surviving siblings approximately 8 or 9 years ago. And he's lived there and until recently thought that he had bought the house after a variance had been granted by the zoning board, which split this lot that the house is located on from this lot toward the northerly side of Packard Road. Tom found out as he was doing some title work associated with some work he was going to do on the property, that in fact, although the variance had been granted by the zoning board in 1999, it had never been recorded. And so consequently, they are now left with a situation where the property is configured in such a way that Tommy and his wife own the property at lot 152A that the house sits on. The garage of the house is situated in such a way that presently it straddles the lot line. And this property is owned by the heirs of Helen Consigli, all of the surviving siblings. So when they came to me and we talked to the folks up at G&H, we decided that the right thing to do would be to go back to the 1999 process and follow the two-step process that they were using then. The first would be to get a variance to allow for the configuration of the lots in this format, showing the property in such a way that we would have a 2.5-foot distance from the sideline on the garage on the Tom Consigli house, and then end up with an 8,000 square foot lot on the lot that's on the corner of Wilson and Packard. It's in the RA zone, so the 8,000 square foot lot would conform. The condition that was imposed by the ZBA in '99 was that nothing but a single-family residence be constructed on this lot to be conforming to the other residences in the neighborhood. The Consiglis are perfectly willing to continue that, but right now they're here for relief from a mistake which was in good faith made 14 years ago, and that's what the purpose of the variance is.
Okay. All right. That's something, huh?
Got Larry's letter here, giving a favorable recommendation. And we get a copy of the decision,
The zoning board?
The old one.
the old one.
Yeah, the old one.
Any questions from the board?
In a perfect world, I certainly don't think in today's standards I'd be too amenable to 2.5 feet from the property line, to be perfectly honest with you. But being that this, I don't believe was the town's error, it was the applicant's error who just neglected to have it recorded. I mean, I guess I'll play along to get along and pass on favorable, but I mean, it's, we almost have to because it's two separate
Right.
owners of property, so you have to, so.
Right.
And the garage is exactly the way it was.
No, and again, if
all those years
it
ago.
was all in one ownership, I would say unfortunately too bad, but since it's two separate, I guess I'm forced to come up with nothing other than favorable to the ZBA.
I'll second that
And that's what I'll make
motion.
as a motion, babe.
Comment as a person from the audience per se, but yeah, Ms. Pettinari did allude to it, but my only issue, not really an issue, but I believe they've said that, but I would hope that when they come back for the second, if they come back to the second one, is that there wouldn't be any variances granted for any of the setbacks There is no chance that he could put a two-family now with the change in zoning anyway, so that's out of the question, so that isn't even an issue anymore, but I would, because most of the houses are up there small, I would hate to see somebody try to come in with a zoning variance for a side yard, or in this case, seeing how it's two front yard, we've got double front yards, to come back with any variances for that. That's my only comment, but otherwise I don't have a...
And again, I don't think we'd be favorable to any variances.
Oh, no.
Absolutely not.
It's a 2.5 feet, so I'll just leave it at that.
Not their intention to seek any additional relief.
I don't think so. Any other comments from the board?
No.
What's the pleasure of the board?
I move.
I made,
Oh, did you, okay, go ahead, Pat.
yeah, Lena seconded it, I thought.
Yeah, I
Did
did,
you?
yeah.
Okay. Any further discussion? Not all those in favor? Opposed? Unanimous of 4, one
Thank you,
abstention.
folks.
Unanimous.
Here's your club.
Thank you.
That's your, that's your camera.
ZBA special permit, 135 Central Street, Linda Chesky.
I don't see anybody there.
No one here?
John, you read it?
Then I will go through it. The applicant requests a special permit to allow for the construction of a 6-foot by 8-foot rear addition to the easterly side of two houses on the subject property. The special permit is required to expand a non-conforming residential structure and use in the IA zone. The correct address for this property is 141, not 135 Central Street. Property is currently being used in conjunction with the Cafe Sorrento property to the east to provide required off-street parking for the expanded cafe and bar use. See the attached reduction of the 2010 amended site plan. It is unclear from the materials submitted if the proposed addition can be built without encroaching on the required parking area directly behind the subject house. I recommend a favorable report be forwarded to the ZBA only if it can be verified that the proposed addition will not encroach onto the required parking area. A lesser addition may be necessary to avoid such encroachment. An amended site plan approval for the combined Cafe Sorrento site will also be required from the planning board if the ZBA grants the special permit. And that's from Larry. We have this packet, and then
Next to the last page is your...
is the aerial that shows, and then the...
He's got all the parking in the rear of all three parcels for the expanded Cafe Sorrento outdoor seating use. So,
Yeah, well, the problem to a certain extent is those parking spaces are just about non-usable. It shows on here, but if, the only way you can get in is through those driveways, which are not marked in any way, so people don't know, and you can't get down from the other side because it's the grade from the back parking lot into those properties is very, very steep.
yeah, it's still steep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, the site plan as shown is he's never done the work that's shown on this site plan, to be honest, which is...
Paved it a little bit, and he struck...
Yeah, he improved it a little bit, but it's not accessible the way it's shown,
Right.
which is, further issue with this. But I guess in a certain sense, if he comes back, that certainly will be something that will need to be worked out, if this is acceptable to the ZBA.
An 8-foot addition may fit, but since their plan wasn't exactly to scale, and it didn't show any of the other features that the site plan had shown, it wasn't that the site plan was all that great either, so.
It's just upgrade the bathroom and the kitchen.
I thought originally he said he was gonna tear these buildings down for parking.
That's what he said, yeah.
They were doing a repair on the one right next to it.
Yeah, but, they came forward to us and said, well, we're gonna tear these down. Now apparently they're fixing them and using them.
Well, they gotta be, it says residence, so they're using them as a
Yeah, they're still-
income property, which again, nowadays, the way business is, I mean, any way you can grab a buck, I guess. But again, with that said, I don't have a problem if he's trying to create a bathroom. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
Is that a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion.
Motion by Pat to send a favorable recommendation to the ZBA. I would assume that's provided that
Provided that it doesn't encroach
impinge
into
any of the parking.
Correct.
as indicated in Larry's letter. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Seconded by Babe. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous at 5.
Now, if they're gonna come back with a plan.
Well, let's come back with a site plan. If they can't fit it in without losing parking, then the plan doesn't meet what we
Right.
required.
Yeah.
ZBA special permit, American Red Cross, various sites.
Another portable.
The applicant requests a special permit to allow for the placement of one 4x4 portable storage container at each of the above listed sites, and I'll list the sites. 327 West Street, professional offices in the CC zone, and 207 East Main Street, veterinary clinic in the CB zone. These are 4x4 portable storage containers. As located on the attached site plan for the purpose of the collection of used clothing. Again, ZBA section 3.2.5.1 provides for portable storage containers, commercial and industrial zones by special permit for the zoning board. Each of the storage containers collection boxes will display on all 4 sides the Red Cross logo, the words clothing donation, as well as various instructions and other pertinent information. Proposed locations are within the parking lots and will not generate any new traffic on the site. Both proposed locations were developed after consultation with the Office of Planning and Engineering, and are situated so as to prevent interference with both vehicular and pedestrian circulation within each site. Neither of the proposed locations is within the public way or required front yard, therefore I recommend favorable reporting to the Zoning Board of Appeals. Following the ZBA grant of special permit, site plan approval will be necessary from the Planning Board. That's from Larry. And on the last sheets, you can see the locations at both of the sites. And also a picture of what the Red Cross box looks like. It's a little bit smaller than the others that we've dealt with.
Same size, 4x4.
I make a
One of them was
motion, we
4x6.
give unfavorable recommendation.
Second that, unfavorable.
Motion by Babe to send an unfavorable recommendation to the Zoning Board of Appeals, seconded by Pat. Any discussion?
I wanted to know what the owners of the property said. We don't have anything that indicates whether they want it or they don't want it.
Well, I go beyond that, John. My problem is, I think we've opened up Pandora's box.
Right.
Oh,
I
it's
gotta be
open.
frank
Oh,
with you.
it's open.
I really,
Yeah,
I
they
have
signed the
no
application.
idea
Have to
that
close the
Milford had
box.
so many, I guess, loose clothes available to be picked up, and I think that we're creating a, an
Pandora's
environment
box.
to just allow people to dump whatever they want. And again, I think we're moving to the point that we might as well put, if we don't put a stop to this in theory, you're gonna have one on every street corner. Why don't we just put one in front, at every intersection? I mean,
I totally agree.
it's just too much.
It really is, and I go along with that.
Any other point of discussion? The application was signed by the owners, John, so I would assume that that meant that they had no issues with it. Any other discussion? Motion to send an unfavorable recommendation to the zoning board. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous at 5.
I need your letter, thank you.
The trees were killed for the.
I'll get with it.
Got the endorsement of site plan Mylars 150 East Main Street.
Yep.
Motion to sign the plans.
Lena just said yes, I think.
Yep. Second? I guess
Yeah.
Seconded by Babe. All those in favor?
All right.
Unanimous at 5. We may as well do the last one, and then we can sign the
Yeah.
plans. Endorsement of South Central Estates, 3 Mylars, certificate of no change.
I'll move.
Motion by Lena, seconded by Pat. All those in favor? Unanimous at 5.
I was absent that day when we approved that.
I don't need a majority.
I'll take a motion that we close the meeting. Motion.
Thanks, Mike.
Motion by Pat, seconded by Lena to close the planning board meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous at 5.
Minutes, if somebody